Good morning. I'm Nick Stern with Robert L. Stern Financial Services. I'm a certified financial planner here in Amherst, Massachusetts. For those of you first tuning in, welcome. Thank you. And for those of you who have joined me for the past year that I've been doing these videos, welcome back. So let's see what's happened. March, it's springtime. First day of spring in Massachusetts. We had a snowstorm. Not exactly unexpected, but pretty unwanted, being that I'm a golfer, although I do have something to look forward to with my new wife, which is going to St. Lucia on our honeymoon in a couple weeks. So, extremely excited about that. But getting right into March's topic video, I wanted to talk about the importance of setting goals and sticking to them. I think that setting goals in basically any aspect of life is important, but especially regarding finances, because it'll help you determine what you really want, and then it'll also give you an actionable plan that can show you how you can actually get there. So for example, if you want to buy a house in 5 or 7 years, let's just say, and you know what your price range is. So you have a fairly specific goal of what you want and when you want it, and now it'll help you work backwards to show how exactly you're going to get there. You can reasonably estimate what a down payment is on your target purchase amount, and you know your timeline, and of course things can change, but this will help at least give you a good guideline. So I really like the idea of setting goals, whether or not it's short-term, something like that, or long-term where I want to have X amount when I retire, or when we retire 40 years or so from now. So I think it's really important. The way that I do it and the way I think is most efficient is writing it down. Now I put it in an Excel spreadsheet. I like computers. I think it's clean, it's easy, and then it's very easy to edit and change, because typically our situation can change over that amount of time. So I want to be able to do it with ease, and I don't want to have a lot of scribble marks on, for example, a pad and pen. So I think it's really important that you do that, and it's more important that when you actually set the goals to help determine what you want, and then you develop this actionable plan, you stick with it. Financial goals can take a little bit of time, so I would advise is don't get discouraged if you have a 5 or 6 year goal and you're a little bit off on year 1, for example, because again, things can change, things can come up, emergencies happen, etc. But the important thing I think out of all of it is it will help you develop a habit of being consistent. And that consistency is really what's going to get you to the goal. So, I mean, that's why I feel that setting goals is very, very important. Now, more the long-term aspects of it, where, you know, maybe something happens and you're able to retire early, or maybe you want to buy a vacation home and you don't really know what exactly the number is that you're going to want to buy the vacation home for. But I mean, you can think of a round or estimated number, and you can say, okay, how am I going to get there? Well, I'm going to start saving $50 more a week. And that'll also help you, which kind of ties into budgeting, where you might be able to cut some expenses out that you didn't know that you originally could. So that's another important reason why goals are great. They're a great tool to have, and I think, again, it just helps you develop good, strong habits, particularly money habits, that are going to help get you to where you want to be. So this isn't a very long discussion. I just wanted to really stress that setting goals is important. I think that staying consistent with them is also very, very important. And I think the reason why you definitely want to sit down and either think about it with yourself, so to speak, or with your partner or your wife or significant other, sit down and doing it, because what you may have thought is important a couple of years ago might not be the case anymore. Because if you have recently gotten married, or you have a husband, again, wife, significant other, partner, etc., things might have changed. If you just had a child or your second child, things can change. So original goals might not be the same. So I think that's another reason as to why setting goals is important. And this is kind of, in turn, building somewhat of a financial plan, because a financial plan is always built around wants, goals, objectives. So I think it helps to understand what your goals are, what your objectives are, and then what your needs are. And then that'll help you prioritize what exactly you need to do first, what you can maybe put lower on the priority list, and then something that you really want, and it'll help determine how you're actually going to manage to get there. And again, create that actionable path to get there. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions on something like this, we focus on comprehensive goals-based wealth management. That's something that I specialize in, and there's no obligation, but if you have any questions regarding that, we're here to help. So thank you again. Enjoy the rest of March, and I will see you next month. Hopefully very tan. Thanks.